Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to break down my poem, The Tenants, which is a 5-part poem, and hopefully you'll pick up on a few tips and tricks that could help you in your poetry writing journey. Basically the main idea came to me when I was living in an apartment complex, and I was kind of curious of what was going on in the other apartments around me. So I got the idea to take some of the subjects from society and place them in each one of those apartments. And then it ended up being a 5-part poem. And each apartment has its own title and its own poem. And it's free form. But I tried to end each poem with a little, somewhat of a twist. And hopefully you enjoy this and this inspires you to create your own. The first one that starts off is Tenant 23B Part 1, which that one is the first apartment, which is the one I'm in. And I just let my imagination go. The Tenant 23B Part 1. I can sit here in this apartment for hours and just listen. No radio, no TV, no computer with super duper outer space internet service. I have all the audio stimulation I could possibly ask for. Surrounded by a variety of little soap operas. At times, I forget the rest of the apartment complex even exists. The 4 apartments around me keep me occupied. I stare out my window at the rainbow of neon lights and I hear it all. The rock god wannabe, the self-destructing couple, and an old lady that wants to smack the shit out of her television set with her cane. Oh yes, I can't forget about the woman upstairs now, can I? Trust me, she's a live one. Stick around, you get a chance to meet them all. And that last sentence is the little twist I tried to add to each one of those poems. Now for the first one we'll go off to Tenant 22B Part 2. This is, I kind of got the idea from remembering watching my grandpa watch the boxing matches on TV and talking to it like the announcers could hear him. And that's the origin of the idea for this little old lady I came up with. And just watching relatives and stuff, watch wrestling on TV, just yelling at it. Or like the newscaster, I don't think the TV could hear you. But I incorporated all those memories into this little old lady. Tenant 22B Part 2. It must be Monday night again, because the old lady in 22B is ready to rumble. She really gets into it. When I'm in the bathroom, I could hear her shouting at her television set. Hit the son of a bitch! You dumbass! Grab the chair! Something tells me she has a mean streak. Any other program she sits quietly through except wrestling and the news. If the newscasters could hear her, they would fucking quit. A terrorist attack, a school shooting, a drug dealer arrested. Those motherfuckers need to be lined up and shot! Yeah. You go, old lady. You tell them. When I pass her on the stairs, I'm always choked out and blinded by a thick stench of vanilla perfume and Bengay. I see her in the store sometimes and at her mailbox down in the lobby. She looks like someone's grandmother, a sweet and kind cookie-making grandmother with the mouth of a sailor. And then there's that little twist I was talking about, that one last Now this one is, I was inspired by the lifestyle of a rock star and how drug abuse totally destroys careers and takes lives. And I put that into this apartment of this young kid. Tenant 23A Part 3. He wants the rock and roll all night and party every day life. Works at a music store down the street. whenever he's able to make it there. He carries his guitar case everywhere, and I mean everywhere. Every time I see him, I could tell that he truly believes he's a rock star. A cocky, better-than-thou strut, faded and worn leather jacket, and his ripped jeans from the 80s. Hell, some people actually think he is, but I know the truth. I hear it every night. The same parts of Freebird, and just like clockwork, the intro to Smoke on the Water, over and over again. There's been a few times he would rip through a Black Sabbath melody nice and loud. Not too bad either, I must say. But I could always tell when he gets paid. His mind and fingers are all over the place. The noise from his amp sounds like he's fucking a cat. Not that I personally know what fucking a cat actually sounds like, but you get the picture. I know he has potential, but that constant haze he keeps himself in prevents him from seeing it. I just hope he's able to clear his head and his veins before he makes it to Highway to Hell. And I threw the Highway to Hell in there at the end of that as a musical rock and roll reference. And the next one, I just started working with domestic abuse, which I can't, that is a subject that is so important to stop, for the victim to cry out for help, but yet they're scared, and it's just a bullshit, fucked up, vicious cycle that has to end. And with that, I put into this apartment right here, Tenant 23C, Part 4. I could hear screaming hostilities and breaking glass. Yeah, they're at it again. They used to be a really happy couple when they first moved in. I would sometimes pass them in the hallway. They would always be holding hands and laughing. A perfect picture of a perfect couple. But that colorful picture slowly faded to a black and white nightmare. Too many nights with a bottle was tearing that picture in half. The loss of a job, the wandering eyes of another, alcohol-fueled chaos ripping at the seams of their marriage. I could always tell he was a hard hitter. When a fist is slammed into someone's body, it makes a very distinct thud. And I've heard a lot of them through these walls. Night after night of loud fighting, and tonight it was different. All I heard was an hour and a half of his thunderous voice, then 2 shots that brought silence. And unfortunately, that's how some of those scenarios end up, which is sad. And I also grabbed from society prostitution, selling his skin. And I put her in one of the apartments also. Tenant 24B, Part 5. I've watched her before down in the laundry. Wait, sorry about that. I've watched her before doing laundry down in the washroom. She's enough to make a priest even break out in a cold sweat. Standing there in her 6-inch heels, messing with a week's worth of sexy thongs and lacy bras. Legs that go all the way up to her ass. That's always wrapped in a short skirt. 2 months ago, she went and got a tattoo of a burning sun on the small of her back. Yeah, she knows she's hot. When it comes to friends, she has a lot of them, because they're always stopping by her place. A quickie here, a quickie there, all hours of the night. You wouldn't believe the kinds of noises that come from her apartment. Yelling, screaming, groaning, moaning. But tonight, I've been pacing this floor for hours. Oh, yeah. I can't sleep. Give it to me, baby. All this racket is driving me crazy. Oh, right there. I'm standing here staring at the ceiling with bloodshot eyes as my patience disappears. That's it. I've had enough. I'm going to march right upstairs and knock on her door and ask her how much she would charge for an hour. So hopefully that will kind of inspire you to be able to break down a core solid idea that you have and just branch out on it. And with the free form style, you're able to just let your imagination run. And hopefully breaking that down kind of gives you a different creative mindset. And I hope it helped you. And yeah, I hope that helped. I do thank you very much for stopping by and checking this out. And that's the first time I actually broke down an idea and shared where my idea came from for that piece. And yes, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.